everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anke, and today I am doing my 2023 bookshelf tour. I've been doing these bookshelf tours ever since I started on BookTube, and I really love looking back on the progress that my shelves have made over the years. So that's why I am back again to give you an updated tour. So if you have been following my channel for a while, then you know I built my absolute dream shelves earlier this year together with my boyfriend. So I did post a little tour back then, but I didn't go fully in depth onto my bookshelves, so that is what I will be doing today. So I hope you will enjoy this video, and let's grab a chair so I can get to the top of my shelves, because as you can see, like, I can't even reach it. That's how tall these shelves are, and I love it. So we are starting off on my top shelf, and on my top shelf I don't really have a whole lot of stuff on here currently. These are some Dutch editions of books that I have, and I decided to try out this look where I place them backwards. I've seen a lot of people do this, and I really wanted to try and see if this was something that I liked, and so far it's alright. So now let's go over there. I have to get off my chair and move it over so I can get there, so let's go do that. So we have made it to the other part of the top shelf. So I just have like some leftover lights and probably a lot of dust up there since I haven't dusted there in a while. But I just have this cute little basket with some books. So let's step down for a second so we can have a proper look at them. So I have To Kill a Mockingbird up there, Othello, which I read for like a, what was it, not a read along, but I know some sort of reading challenge, I believe. And this book is actually quite special to me because it is one that I purchased at Shakespeare & Company in Paris in November of 2021, and that was just such a special moment and a special store to be able to go to. And then I also have How I Live Now by Meg Rossoff. This was actually surprisingly really good. I really enjoyed it so much. And I have The Help and The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. So sorry if I butchered the names, I'm not very good with names honestly, but I have those up there because I didn't quite know where else I should put them. So let's put them back. Now that we've moved from the top shelf, I'm just gonna move one down, and we are starting on the left where I have my bookmark cup. It says just one more chapter, and I have my entire bookmark collection in here, and all of these up front, like, look at them. There's so many. They are from the October Dot shop, and I was a rep for her for a while last year, and she gifted me most of these, some I bought, and I just love them. I will actually make sure to link her shop down below so you can check them out because she has such an amazing collection. Then we move over to these two books. They are the Dutch editions of the City of Brass trilogy. So the first two books are out in this limited edition in Dutch so far, and I'm pretty sure book number 3 is coming very soon, so I'm just waiting for that one. Then I also have the Dutch special edition of what's it called in English? I don't know. I'm pretty sure if you see this cover you know what book I mean. I read this pretty recently and I really loved it. Then I do have the English edition of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I accidentally dropped the Dutch limited edition of Gallant. So they have been coming out with the most stunning Dutch editions lately, and I am obsessed, and my bank account is not a fan. And then back there I have a poster that I got somewhere, and it's a map of the Grishaverse, and I should probably find a different spot because it doesn't really show right now. Like, it's completely hidden, so I'm gonna need to find a different spot for that, but I will. just not right now. Then I have my cute little baby pancake plant over here, which is like having kind of a rough time right now, so yeah. Then over here I have all of the Twilight books by Stephanie Meyer. I grew up with these books. I love them so freaking much. A few years ago I finally managed to get my hands on the English edition secondhand somewhere, and I got these two with that deal as well. And I got Midnight Sun, I don't know when it came out, but a few years ago, and I really loved it. So that is this shelf, and now let's get off my chair again and move over to the next shelf. Okay, so let's just go from left to right. So to start off, I have Wilder Girls, The House in the Cerulean Sea. Then I have the first two books of, I believe, Under the Never Sky is the first book, from Victoria Rossi. I still need to read the third book in a trilogy. Like, this is such an underrated series. I really love it, but I just haven't been able to find a hardback of the third book, so I don't know, we'll see. Then I have The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and then we get over to part of like my Grisha first books. So I have King of Scars and Rule of Wolves, and these two special editions of Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. Then we move over to Ninth House by Lee Bardugo, and this is again another special, like, limited Dutch edition of a book from Thief of Night, but then the Dutch edition obviously from Holly Black. It is stunning. And then we have some more Holly Black books. We have the Cruel Prince series, and then we move over to my Sarah J Maas part. So I have the entire Court of Thorns and Roses series here, and I have Crescent City and Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood, and House of Sky and Breath. So I love these books. So I managed to get these secondhand from someone last year because I really wanted to have everything in English as well, and I wanted to have the hardbacks because they are so pretty, and I just managed to get a really great deal from someone. So I'm really proud of that part of my shelves. And when we actually move down, we move over to my paperback selection of the Sarah J Maas part. So I'm just gonna get off the chair real quickly and show you. So let's just start off over here. So I have the Dutch edition of A Court of Silver Flames because I did a read along for it, and well, actually hosted it with some friends, and we got the books gifted from the Dutch publishers because we were hosting it. So that was really great, and I got this beautiful Nesta and Cassian artwork with it. And then I have the original English paperbacks. I am so freaking glad that I still have these because I know they don't make them anymore and they currently go for a lot of money. Honestly, I'm never gonna sell them, but it's just really cool to have them and know that, you know, they're kind of becoming a limited item. Then I have my entire Throne of Glass series. Well, not entire, I'm actually lying because I do not own an Assassin's Blade. I still need to get that book, and I still need to read that book honestly as well. So that might be something I have to do this year. Then we move over to my paperbacks of like the Grisha first. So I have these two of Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, but I love them. They made me fall back in love with reading fantasy because a few years ago I was like, oh yeah, I don't think I like fantasy books, and I read those two and I was obsessed. So then my best friend decided to get me those. I'm so lucky to have a best friend like that. And then I have the Shadow and Bone trilogy. And then over here I have my Vampire Academy and the spin-off series Bloodlines by Rochelle Mead. Honestly, these are such a throwback for me. I read those entire series in Dutch when I was younger with my best friend. I would like buy book 1 and she would buy book 2 and I would buy book 3, and then it was so much fun because the person who bought it was able to read the book first, and then we would lend it to the other person and we would be able to talk about this. So like looking at these books now that I have them in English, it is just such good memories. And I love the spin-off series as well. Then up top I have the first 2 books of the Percy Jackson series. I started reading them for the first time last year, and I really hope to continue reading the rest of the series this year. And I don't like that I have them on top of there. I will have to find another spot on my shelves for them. I just need to rearrange some things soon. I just haven't been motivated yet because I know rearranging everything is going to take a lot of time. So they're just over there for right now. And then we can move on to my Cassandra Claire shelf. So I'm actually going to start on this side with that because we're going to start off with the first series, which is the City of Bone series. Then we go on to the Infernal Devices series with my Clockwork Angel necklace that I was gifted in a Secret Santa a few years ago. This might honestly be one of my favorite like bookish fandom items that I have. I just think it's so cool. And then over here we have the books from the Eldest Curse series. We're still waiting on book 3 obviously. And then over here I have like the short stories and things like that that you read throughout the entire series. And then we move on to the Dark Artifices series and this one, The Last Hours. It is probably, I don't know if it's my favorite or the Infernal Devices are, but I love them and I cannot wait for Chain of Thorns, which will be out at the end of the month. I am so freaking excited, and I was able to pre-order the Waterstone special edition as well. Like, oh my god, these books are just so pretty, and I'm pretty sure that the 3rd book is some sort of a burgundy color, I think. And then up front I have, which is not in the correct place because this is actually a bracelet from the Grishafers. Like it has like, you can't really see, I'm sorry. It has the sun sign on it. I really love this. So I'm just gonna put this over here for right now and have it there. Okay, so let's see, let's just move down on this shelf. So we are getting to my contemporary slash romance slash that type of bookshelves. So we are starting with One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston, Fangirl, and then we have a bunch of Casey Westbrook. Honestly, she's become one of my favorite like feel-good summer type author. I love her books so much. Then we have the 2 All the Boys Have Loved Before by Jenny Han series, and these 3 books by Jenna Evans Welch. So technically they are connected in a way where this book revolves around one character and this one revolves around her best friend. And I'm kind of blanking out how this one connects to the other ones, but they all have like the same type of feels, and I really loved all 3 of those books. So when we move over, we have some holiday reading books. So I have the Holiday the Holiday Switch and the Holiday Swap. Wow, these titles are similar. I haven't even noticed that before. And Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. I have the first book of The Summer I Turned Pretty, which I actually sent out once as a traveling book. So it has gone to multiple people and they have like highlighted and read throughout this book, which I think is so cool. It's such a cool item to have on my shelves, and I have actually read the rest of the series on my e-reader. I still want to get some physical copies of the other 2 books as well at some point. I just haven't gone around to it. So then we have The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. So this is actually kind of rainbow because you'll notice that I have some books by the same author, but they are like not in like next to each other because I was going for a rainbow effect. Well, you can see that. So I have The Fletcher and The Switch and the Road Trip by Beth O'Leary, The Love Hypothesis by Allie Hazelwood, and then I have The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have Save the Date by Morgan Matson. Love that book. I was not expecting to love it as much as I had. I read this in one sitting. It was so cute. Then Second First Impressions by Sally Thorne. I love this book. This was definitely one of my favorites from last year. Then I have Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid, The Unhoneymooned by Christina Lauren, and then I have Maybe in Another Life, One True Loves, and Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And then we move over to this cute little plant and some of the Heartstopper like comics and like the books that take place in the universe. So you have the yearbook, and I have this Winter by Alice Osman. I still need to read the rest of those books, but I read this one in the winter because I felt like it was the perfect time, and I just haven't gotten around to the rest, but I will, I promise, I will at some point. Then we move over to my hardback of like the same type of books. So I have the No Show by Beth O'Leary, Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson. Then I have some Casey Westbrook, Places We've Never Been, Sunkissed, Moment of Truth, Listen to Your Heart, Fame, Fate and the First Kiss, Looking in Love, and Love, Life and the List. And between these are also You Have a Match by Emma Lord and Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson as well. So I love these spines. I'm a sucker for like the pastel colored spines. They're so pretty. Then I have another plant, and behind here I have some books that are kind of hidden behind the plant. So I have Amalia by Claudia de Breij. This is actually our crown princess. In the Netherlands, it is custom that when the crown prince or princess turns 18, a book is released on them to kind of tell their side of growing up as a princess, knowing that she's going to be queen one day. This was actually really interesting to read because in the Netherlands, they aren't allowed to be in the press until they're 18. Like, I really didn't know a lot about her until I read this book, so I really enjoyed reading that. And then I have Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. I don't know how to pronounce the last name, but this is poems and I really liked it. Then I have Talking as Fast as I Can by Lauren Graham, which I kind of feel I'm doing right now. I feel like I'm talking too fast in this video. I'm really sorry if I am. And Atomic Habits by James Clear. This is kind of one of those like self-help books in how to implement changes into your life, like finding the motivation to go work out. Just like I'm stating it very easily. There's like a lot in this book that's extremely helpful. And then I have The Opposite of Butterfly Hunting by Ivana Lynch. That book was honestly so impressive to me. I really loved it. It talks a lot about her eating disorder. If you don't know who Ivana Lynch is, she's the one who played Luna Lovegood on Harry Potter, and I was very interested in her story. So it talks a lot about her eating disorder, and it was definitely a heartbreaking, very honest, very raw book. I loved it, but I do have to say that maybe if you are dealing with things like that, you should not be reading the book at that time, you know. Just think about it when you pick it up. Okay, so now let's move down another shelf. And over here, I'm starting off with my book sleeve collection. Most of them are from Paper and Word. No, actually all of these are from Paper and Word. I love their company, and there was a time where I would purchase one pretty much every single month, but right now I am not doing that because they barely fit into the basket anymore, and she still makes the most amazing beautiful designs, but I have to like hold back a little bit. Then I have a little globe, which I thought was very fitting next to my mystery books. So I have the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series by Holly Jackson. Honestly, one of the best series ever written in my opinion. I still need to read Killjoy, which I will get to very soon. Then I have these books by Karen M. McManus. One of Us is Lying, Two Can Keep a Secret, and One of Us is Next. Then I have the Study in Charlotte series by Brittany Cavallaro and The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So I read this first book last year and I fell in love. So I have the second book on my TBR shelf, which I will show in a little bit. But honestly, this series is so good. I love it already and I can't wait to read the rest. So then we move over to my shelf of classics. Honestly, try not to mind the mess back there. This room is very small and I have too many stuff. So I have some Wordsworth editions, and these are from Puffin Bloom, I believe. So I have Jane Eyre, Emma, Little Woman, Anne of Green Gables, The Secret Garden, Pride and Prejudice, another book of Anne of Green Gables, and another version of Little Woman. These are two of my favorite books ever. Then I have a little teacup because I felt like that was very classical of me. And then over here, I love that I made this last year. I need to update it. Like, I'm actually going to do it today to add the books that I read this year. So these are all of the books that I've read since I started keeping track in 2019. So I'm gonna add the rest today. That's gonna be a fun little project. And then over here, this might be my pridest possession of like bookish things ever. Oh, there's something on there. Okay, so my best friend Amy, she made this for me as a birthday gift, and it is Anne of Green Gables. If you couldn't tell, like, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. This is everything. I still can't believe that she made this for me. I'm in love with this doll. So I have her over here with the Anne of Green Gables books. So I only have Anne of Green Gables and Anne of Avonlea right now, and I do own the rest of the series, but it's just taking me a little bit of time to get through it because I always feel like classics, I really need to be in the mood to read those. So I'm just really pacing them and taking my time, and I honestly feel like they are very much spring reads. So I reread Anne of Green Gables and I read Anne of Avonlea the first time last year in like the spring and summer because we live pretty close to the water, and I was just reading them by the lake, and it was just such a mood that I plan on doing that later this year as well. So I'm just saving those, and they are on my TBR shelf, which you will show in a little bit. So there is one more shelf underneath of this one, but that shelf is filled with some of my Harry Potter books. So I know that some people aren't gonna want to see this, so I'm gonna go to my TBR shelf first, which is in the living room, and then I'll come back for that so that people who don't want to see it can just click out of the video. So let's go to the living room and show you those books first, and then go to that one. Oh, this is it. This is my entire physical TBR. I know I don't have a lot of books on it, but I made it a goal to never have more than 15 books on my TBR shelf at the time, because I kind of get like some anxiety if I have too many, because I very much get the feeling like I'm never going to be able to get through all of them. So I only have a few. So on the left, I have the rest of the Anne of Green Gables series, which are these books. Then I also have Little Men by Louisa May Alcott, which is supposed to be around the sons of the girls in Little Women. So I'm really excited to read that. This is actually a little photo. Then I have the third Percy Jackson book. It's Percy Jackson and the Titan's Curse. Then I have The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. 99% Mine by Sally Thorne. I Kissed Sarah Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. The Inheritance Games by... No, not The Inheritance Games. The Hawthorne Legacy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. It is the sequel to that one. Then I have The Atlas Paradox by Oliver Blake. I am currently rereading The Atlas 6, and then I want to read this one very soon while that book is still fresh in my memory. And the last one is Tom Felton's Beyond the Wand, and I'm really excited to read that one as well. So that is it for my TBR shelf. So we are back in my book room, and as I was saying before, I'm gonna go down to my very last shelf, which is my Harry Potter shelf. This is where I keep all of those stuff. So I totally understand if you're clicking out of the video right now. If you do not want to see this, I always try to stay away from referring to that person on my channel. However, this is a bookshelf tour, and I do want to show you all of my shelves and all of my books. So if you are going to click out of the video right now, I want to thank you so much for watching up until this point. I really appreciate it, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. For those of you who are staying, let's go to my last shelf. So over the years, I have collected quite a few items. So these are all of the original Dutch books, you know, the ones I grew up reading. And then on top of here, I have some candles and a little Vetiver mug. I have some Funko Pops. Then I have these house candles and the English editions of the Harry Potter books. I actually managed to find all of them secondhand a few years ago, and I was like, it was an amazing deal. Then I have a Phoenix Tears candles, and I have Dumbledore. I have a little time turner, and in the little packet right there is a necklace of Luna Lovegood's Spectres. No, Spectre Specs. I always mess that up. Spectre Specs. I'm really sorry. Behind there I have like a cat that is in Dolores' office. I have my little Luna Funko Pop and her wand. Then I have the Mirror of Erisys, and I have the illustrated editions of the books. Then up here I have our Golden Trio, a little chess piece, and Harry's glasses. And I actually have this key, and it's actually very funny because it was with the broken wing, and the broken wing broke off, so now it's broken. And let's move over to the other side. So this is kind of my Hufflepuff area. I have a little pillow back there. I have the first 4 house books. I've decided not to purchase the rest of the series because I don't feel I need them, and I do not want to like actually spend my money on any of the items. So like I said, most of what I have here, like pretty much everything except for the original Dutch books, they're all bought secondhand from people. So yeah, just wanted to mention that. Then I have the tie and just some little extra items over here. I have this cute jar which was actually gifted to me, and I felt like it had such Hufflepuff vibes that it needed to make an appearance on my shelf. I have my house scarf. I have some Christmas cards back there. I have a little pumpkin because it reminded me of Hagrid's pumpkin patch. I have some more Funkos and some of like the extra books, like, yeah, you can see them. I have a little candle, and back there I have some artwork that I had made a few years ago. So yeah, that was actually it. Those are my shelves, and personally I'm completely obsessed with them. I'm so happy with them, and I guess that's the main thing. As long as you love your shelves, then everything's good. So these books on my shelves, I've actually read every single one of them, and sometimes I still can't believe that I've managed to read that many books. I know to some people it's a little, but to me it's a lot. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I want to thank you so much for watching, and then I will see all of you in my next video. Bye!